We got a little snow last night. I wasn't quite prepared for. It wasn't supposed to snow till tomorrow. But that's nothing new here. I got a kind of a double meal going on today, doing preparations for Thanksgiving. I have a nice turkey I boned out this morning, and I've got the skeleton and all the remains that we're not going to be putting in the crock pot on Thanksgiving. I want to be putting that in a big pot today and making some soup with rice. And then I've got another dish I'm making for us for tonight to eat, and that's a traditional German dish my mother used to make all the time. It's called rouladen. It's a steak roll, so I'll go into a little detail about that too. But still a little snowy, and well, I wanted to show you a little view of the pit here area. And this is a rock formation, and there's several of these surrounding the box canyon we live over. And this is old Native American hunting grounds. And this is actually one of the fire pits here that I built up my two little pits in here, and put in some mulch and stuff in here to make it level. But this used to be like these rocks are like a bench going around here. And there's one really big one over on the lot next to me. And then there's a couple all around actually. And then down at the bottom of the canyon, you can't really see that good today because it's snow a little bit. But drops down about 150 feet. And we've got some Native American caves down in there too with some petroglyphs on them. It's really, really special place. And medicine trees and spirit trees all around here. This was a very popular area for the Utes and the Navajos and the Arapahoes. I think they used to actually meet here and rendezvous. So it's special. Well, as you can see, I'm not getting up on that roof today. My goal was to have the whole cabin dried in by Thanksgiving. Well, I got the front porch and the one side done. I got the skylight set in there, but the back roof, I haven't put the waterproof covering on it yet. So, well, I got most of it done, but it looks like this week is going to be cold, and I think this weather is going to be here pretty much. Okay, the first thing I'm going to be doing is getting a pot going here once the fire drops off a little bit. And I've got the turkey left over it here. We're going to be making some nice soup. Actually, I left a bunch of good meat on it, so it's going to be a lot of meat in it. And then we'll be putting some brown rice and onions in later. But for starters, I'm just waiting for the fire to get ready. Which, to be honest with you, on a day like today, that fire serves a couple purposes. Not only cooking, but it's sure nice to stand by and drink some coffee and keep warm. It drops down below 15 degrees here at nighttime. I try to keep my water tanks drained, so we have lots of water jugs that we keep inside where we sleep that keeps them warm. So we probably got 20 gallons inside to get through weeks like this, and I'll get some more water once it warms up. But there's no need in wasting that snow and ice in the bottom of my pot, because we try to watch our water use when it gets really cold out. Just like I said, everything freezes up. So this is just about ready. I'm going to throw a little more snow in there and then get ready to put that turkey in there. Okay, I filled that thing up with snow, and then I added a little more water too, just to get it up to about a little more than a quarter way full. It's probably got about, I don't know, quart and a half, almost 2 quarts of water in there. But once that gets to a little bit of a boil, then I'm going to put that turkey carcass in there. Okay, for starters, we're just going to let this skeleton here with all the meat on it from when we boned it. We've got the neck in there too. We're going to boil it for probably half hour, 40 minutes. You know, not too hard to boil, but just a good simmer. And then in the meantime, I got the other project I'm working on. Up here, I got a piece of chuck roast that I just filleted out as thin as I could. And what happens here is I put one of these in the center, and then I roll it up and then wrap it with a slice of bacon, and that's going to go, I think I got enough for 5 or 6 of them. Some people just call them steak rolls, but it's German style with the dill pickle in it and then bacon around it. And it'll go in the Dutch oven So I'll be doing two things at once, and I just loaded the other fire pit up a little bit, knocked it down and put some aspen in it. Get it nice and hot. Okay, so the idea with these is to take the pickle and roll them up just a little bit of an angle, just like you would a burrito or something. Then when I get these all done, then I take a strip of bacon and I wrap them around each one. And then once the fire pit's ready over there, they go into the Dutch oven. I'm using a little 12-inch with the round lid on it. So probably by the time the soup's done, these will be done, so we'll just put these inside for supper tonight and have a nice cup of soup in the meantime. Once that pot over there gets boiling pretty good, I might strip all the meat off of it and then put the rice in the broth and let that cook for 40 minutes or so, and then put the meat chunks back in there. I'll probably take the meat chunks inside of the little trailer, and my wife will cut that up into little cubes, and then we'll mix it all together. I'm going to check and see how that turkey's doing. Oh yeah, it's doing great. So we'll just keep an eye on it, turn it around a couple times, but just let it build up a nice broth in there. Okay. This fire pit over here is just about ready for the Dutch oven too. One of the secrets to the flavor of these rouladen, the steak rolls, is the vinegar out of the pickles and the onions. And then you take the bacon and you got a really nice flavor. Well, I tell you what, it's in the low 20s out here, but that breeze is what's making it cold. So I'm actually going to go just sit by the fire pit for a while, warm my hands back up again, because cutting this onion up, I had to take my gloves off. But so we're going to line the bottom of the Dutch oven with the onions, and then we're going to put a little bit of beef broth in there, maybe about a couple cups, 8 ounces, 10 ounces. And then we're going to, once that fire pit over there, I'm going to be able to put it on the trivet and just let it simmer for about, 45 minutes. Okay, this is about what you end up with after you've rolled the fillets of meat around the pickle, and then wrapped about a half a strip of bacon around each one. And I got the bottom of the pot covered with those onions. So next thing is pour, like I said, about 8 ounces of the broth in there. And then I'm just waiting to put it on the Dutch oven, but I'm going to go back over and start keeping an eye on that turkey too, because I got to go stir it around a little bit. Okay, I got my 2 rebar strips and my grate on top of the pit, just because that gives me another 2 inches, so I can get this the rouladen on there, start to get ready to simmer. And then as the fire drops down, I'll take the grate off and put it down on top of the horseshoe trivet. Now over here, this is going pretty good. I just stirred it around and crushed down the bones a little bit to get them down more into the broth. And I'm just going to go have a sip of coffee and warm my hands up now. Okay, the broth's in there, a little salt and pepper. And I'm going to put the lid on this now. Let it go get to a simmer. And then keep an eye on the turkey over here at the same time. And go have a little coffee and warm my fingertips up.